And what should I do?
If you can pull it down more to get more there you go. Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, why don't I see myself here?
Check your view in Zoom.
Mute. I don't see view.
Probably up at the top near sign in.
Oh, there we go. View, yeah. Uh, show self view. There we go.
I'd like to call to order the Committee of the Whole meeting for November 10th, 2025. First order of business, I'm going to change it a little bit, and I would like to welcome our new Deputy Clerk, Nikisha Bartley Henry. And welcome, Nikisha. We're very happy, very fortunate to have you, and I hope everybody had a chance to introduce yourself, and we look forward to working with Nikisha in the future. So great, welcome. Next order of business is disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof. It could be declared now or any time during the meeting. And I'd also like to point out that we have the two Gords on joining us virtually. Councillor Gord Martin and Councillor Gord Knowles are joining virtually. So next order of business is delegations. We're fortunate to have a delegation today, the Community of Atikokan Sustainability Initiative, Bridget Ansel and Alicia Maceo. Maceo? Alyssa, sorry. A tough way to start out. All right, so the floor is yours. You have to, there you go. Great, thanks.
Is good?
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much for having us here today. I'm Bridget Onsa and Alyssa Massey. And we're very pleased to be here to present on our proposal of the Atikokan Tree Planting Initiative 2026 on Mackenzie Avenue East. So just want to start with CASI, or the Community of Atikokan Sustainability Initiative's commitment to the town of Atikokan. So CASI values this community and is dedicated to supporting its growth and prosperity. Atikokan is in one of Ontario's most beautiful, rugged, and charming regions, and visitors come from all over to experience all that our area has to offer. However, we believe we can do more to enhance the beauty of the streetscape on Mackenzie Avenue as visitors and residents alike come into town. And CASI is excited and proud to be able to contribute to Atikokan's future, starting with our proposal today, right here. So our proposal is the Atikokan Tree Planting Initiative 2026 on Mackenzie Avenue East. The Community of Atikokan Sustainability Initiative is seeking the Atikokan Town Council's endorsement to plant native, visually appealing trees along Mackenzie Avenue East on municipal property. Our considerations for planting locations would be to prioritize bare areas that appear less inviting, We'd focus on areas of municipal property where trees would not be anticipated to interfere with infrastructure or snow plowing. We'd stick to Mackenzie Avenue East as this is the main route into town. And if our grant is approved to pay for this work, we would revisit the town of Atikokan for endorsement on specific tree planting locations. So this is a mock-up of proposed planting locations on Mackenzie Avenue East. Again, this is sort of a preliminary plan. It could be subject to change somewhat as we look into the details of it, but showing that our aim would be to plant about 25 trees along Mackenzie Avenue East, focusing on the areas that are more bare and less inviting looking right now. So to pay for this work, there's a grant available through Trees Canada called Tremendous Communities. We didn't come up with this brilliant pun ourselves, unfortunately. So the application period for this grant is from October 8th to December 1st, 2025. Hence why we're here to speak to you today, so that we'd be able to get your feedback prior to submitting our grant. Eligibility includes municipalities, non-for-profit organizations, and community groups such as ourselves, CASI. The grant funds pay up to $10,000, so there's significant funds available in order to cover a variety of eligible expenditures, including the purchase of the trees, but also site preparation, tree maintenance, and planting materials. So I'm going to pass it off to Alyssa to describe some more of the project details.
Okay, so our grant money would be used for purchases such as trees. We're focusing on showier deciduous trees, red maples, silver maples, white birch, yellow birch, maybe large tooth aspen, as well as tree protection equipment, both for the base of the trees and surrounding the trees to protect from deer while they're still young. It would be used for fertilizer and mechanical site preparation to dig the holes. Some additional tasks we've considered on the back end would be to organize volunteers to plant and install the protective equipment. We're interested in soliciting interest from Northern Lakes NRT program to participate in the planting day. We are organizing volunteers through CASI to do watering the first couple years during dry spells. And any future pruning that would need to occur, we would organize that through CASI, as well as organizing donations such as mulch. We're hoping to ask Hydro if there could be a donation there, and mechanical site preparation, maybe a donation or a subsidized fee. So some of the project benefits are aesthetic enhancement. So green spaces are more inviting, and people spend more time in them. It's climate change adaptation, so temperature moderation, improved air quality. Trees absorb pollutants, all different kinds, carbon monoxide, dioxide, volatile organic compounds, stuff from vehicle emissions. Habitat creation, it'll create food and shelter for birds. Another benefit is stormwater management. So trees absorb water and they reduce runoff, mitigating bigger fluctuations in the Atikokan River. It improves mental well-being. Green spaces are shown to lower stress. And it reduces noise pollution. They're a natural sound barrier by absorbing, diffusing, and deflecting sound. And building community. The social connection that would happen during the planting exercise, we think would be a nice initiative for town. And in reviewing Atikokan's town plan, we think that this initiative aligns with two strategic directions, one being economic development. I think it would encourage tourism within the town itself, as visitors are more likely to spend time in areas that feel well cared for. And then businesses in aesthetic pleasingly areas often experience higher foot traffic. It can increase property value by 5 to 15%, although these would be planted on municipal property, but It reduces infrastructure costs by reducing heat island effects and lowers cooling costs for residents and businesses alike. And we think it aligns with the strategic direction for community pride. Greener environments improve mental well-being, like I said, and they encourage outdoor activity. Cooling and shade help to extend pavement life, enhancing durability and contributing to the town's overall visual appeal. And the incorporation of showy deciduous trees, such as red maples, enhance visual appeal in the fall with their vibrant colors. So in conclusion, we're asking for town council's conceptual endorsement and permission for the tree planting initiative. Specifically, we're requesting a letter of support from Atikokan Town Council to supplement our grant application. Just a reminder that that deadline is December 1st. We're looking to have that in by. And just a consideration that, you know, a more detailed site plan, specific locations, methods, materials, that sort of thing would be provided to town council for review and final endorsement. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Yeah, does anybody have any questions? Yes, Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor Ferguson. Thank you for that presentation, appreciate it, and I love the effort. And I'm sure that
Excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Councillor Shine.
Thank you, Mayor Ferguson. Do you have contact information?
For the committee,
Yes.
we will send that over.
Oh, perfect, thank you.
Yes, Councillor Stimson.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Ferguson. Yeah, I'm happy to see some trees going in there. I got a red maple and it's a beautiful tree, and it's just nice to see that we've got trees planted there, and I've never seen anybody doing anything with them. You know, I'm glad to see you guys have something planned for watering them when they're young and trimming them. We got some that the stakes broke over and the tree's growing like this. You know, to me, those ones you should dig them out, because it just looks like we threw a tree in the ground and walked away from it and said Heidi ho, you know. And this seems to be a good project, and I think.
Councillor
Thank you.
Knowles.
Thank you. I just had a couple of questions, kind of more technical questions. What size of trees are you looking at? We had planted trees earlier with the renewal committee, and I think the survival rate was pretty small because they were tiny trees.
Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. We've considered planting trees 5 to 7 feet tall, already significantly established. We're in the process right now of getting requests for quotes back from local greenhouses for that size of tree.
Okay, thank you. And I guess my follow-up question would be, I don't know a lot about those types of trees in particular, but just about the root systems and how they might affect things under the ground, like some of the water lines and sewer lines and whatnot. But I'm happy to see that it's moving forward.
Thank you.
Yes, Councillor Lyons.
Thank you. Just a quick question about this proposal. Is this a one-time thing that you guys are looking at, or is it something that you may be looking at pursuing in future years?
It's definitely something we'd be interested in pursuing in future years, depending on the first year's success and support from town. Yeah, we thought it would be a great place to start Mackenzie Avenue East so that everyone can see it and then go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Great. I just have a question, and actually it's a question for Tyler. Have you looked this over, and how do you see it working with the Public Works?
Yeah, I reviewed it this morning. I think with a little bit of work here together, we can make it work, no problem.
Okay, great. Good to hear. So I don't have any more questions. If it's okay to council, we'll prepare a letter of support. Okay, we'll have that soon, because I know you're up against a deadline, so we can get that to you right away.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, we'll go to finance. Period ending October 31st, report. Randy?
Okay, so you have the R&E on the agenda, if there's any questions.
We got demolition on there. Any idea when that is going to happen? Is it still slated for this year?
It's a work in progress, Councillor. I am looking at these houses. The house that's been discussed a number of times in council, that is a fire-raised house, is slated to be down. The other one that also is a fire-raised house is slated to be down. We're working currently on whether to include the one in an RFP that should be released soon. It's a better time of year to knock them down now as opposed to in the middle of the summer because of dust mitigation, but we're working on it.
Yeah, I had a request from one of the neighbors of one of them. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Yes, Councillor Lyons.
Just further to Councillor Stimson's question, are there any other properties that we're considering at this time?
Considering to demolish, is
Yes.
that your question?
Yeah.
Yes, there are a number of properties here. There should be 5, I believe, that
5 of them?
slated for demolish.
Okay, thank you.
More questions, comments? We look forward to the year-end report and see where we actually land on all this. I think it's looking pretty good. I don't see any big outliers here, so we'll towards more to the end of the year, we'll see more where we're at. And number 2, asset retirement obligations. I'll leave that to Brandy again.
Okay, so we talked about this a little bit in prior council meetings. So this is our approach to implementing the new asset retirement obligations required by PSAB. So a resolution will go to the council meeting.
Any questions or comments? Councillor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor Ferguson. Brandy, on there I see that Doug Dorn, retired handyman, is on there. How come our deputy clerk isn't on there?
Because these are people that I was looking to find historical information about our buildings and that. So the main people are Public Works and Building. And I was looking for like historical, even prior to, I was looking for more building information than documents, and the documents I was looking for were prior to the prior deputy clerk anyway. So I just reached out to anybody that I thought could be helpful.
We'll let Nikisha get her second. We'll let Nikisha get her second weekend before we load her up too much. Any other questions? Yes, Councillor Lyons.
Thank you. Just wondering, this seems like quite a large task in order to undertake. And I'm wondering, does the town have capacity at this time to undertake this project and still maintain the level of service? Or do we need to look at maybe a temporary contract to support it?
No, it's pretty much done. I'm just trying to finalize it.
Oh, fantastic. That's
now.
great to hear. Thank you.
Moving forward, though, I will be probably presenting a policy to council, and we will be getting more studies done on our buildings.
Wonderful. Thanks.
Okay. Nothing else? So that will be a resolution?
At the next meeting.
The next meeting? Okay, great. And lastly, OMPF report.
So this was a pleasant surprise. As you know, the last few years, our OOMP funding is generally been decreasing. And this year they've put more money into the funding. So we will be getting an extra $200,400 this year.
Great. And I sent note to our MPP, showing our appreciation for that. Okay, any comments on that? Okay, hearing nothing, we'll move to Public Works, Airport Waste Management, sewer repairs. Tyler.
Thanks. So you guys have the report in front of you here. We recently finished up our CCTV flushing and inspection program. We found a few pretty critical repairs that have to get done. So we finally were able to track down a contractor who can perform that work, and they said they could be here in about a week to get that done for us before the winter sets in. So if we have any specific questions, I can answer those.
Any questions for Tyler on that? Just a couple comments. It is within your budget, as you pointed out, and some of the work being done doesn't disturb the roadways or anything too much either. So those are two wins on this. So I think if it's okay with council, we'll accept that and we'll move forward on that.
Thanks.
Stays within our strategic plan to repair our infrastructure. So I think that's a good win. So we'll move to fire and property fit testing machines. Chief Warburton.
Yes, Mayor, what would you like to know? Yeah, I'm asking for permission to purchase a fit testing machine. I have talked to Brandy about the financial impact. We did budget for it. There is grant money that's involved. I don't know exactly how much of that grant money we'll need to use. It is towards the cancer prevention. We do require a fit testing annually for all fire service members to be wearing a mask. And currently we borrow a machine which doesn't always keep us within compliance with the regulation, because it's sometimes gone for 2 months and then it's back. So having our own machine is practical. Been planning to buy one for many years. And as you see, I've got 2 quotes. There's a very specific piece of equipment, and the cheaper one is what I'd recommend to purchase. It does both the masks that we wear for fire service, but it also does N95 masks should we require them for dust and stuff like that, which is currently we don't do that, but technically that is a requirement if you're in a dust environment.
I just have a question. So somebody to operate, to be the tester, so we're going to have a couple people in your staff do that testing?
The testing machine, that's a really good question. The testing machine is automated. Basically, it tells you on a screen what to do. There is no qualification required to perform those tasks. The machine tells you to nod and shake your head and speak, and then it'll tell you whether you did it right or not. It's autonomous to human interaction.
Wow, that's great. Great. Yes, Councillor Shine.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Ferguson. So when you say you can do the N95, I'm thinking about how would it be different than, say, my N95 testing for the hospital, where you have to put this thing in and they spray all the chemicals inside there. Would that not be, would it be different? Would it, or
No,
you're not really sure?
It's a quantitative test. It is the same principle. There's just 2 different types of testing, but this machine is capable of doing that.
Oh, interesting. Pass that information on.
Councillor Lyons.
Thank you. This question's for both Graham and Tyler. Could the fit testing also result in a savings in public works if the fit testing itself could be done for those who require?
If fit testing is required for the wearing of mask, yes, it can be utilized through any of the departments.
Okay.
So we do have an annual program with NWI as well to get their fit testing done, so we might be able to see some savings there too.
Okay, thank you.
I think whatever these guys need, we should do. I went over the other day there and I was talking to some of them, and you know, they're a good bunch of people, and we depend on them a lot and hope we never need them coming to our house and that, you know, so I'm all in favor of this.
So is that on the agenda for the next meeting to approve that?
Yes.
Yes, great. Okay, and we'll move on to replacement of pumper tanker. We'll leave that with Chief Warburton again.
Thanks, Mayor Ferguson. So currently, as you're mostly aware, the complement of trucks we have, we're also aware the 1996 Volvo is, I apologize for my wording, I said end of life. The unit still works great. We test it every year, but it's its credible life, as in for Underwriters Canada, rate them, and it ends rating after 25 years. We do not have a tanker, which is a bulk water system. This unit that I'm proposing to buy is both a tanker holding 12,000 liters of water, or for American measurements, I don't even know, 3,000 liters, 3,000 gallons, but it's 12,000 liters is what I work with. So 12,000 liters of water, plus it has a rated pump. So the pump will replace the old Volvo, the 1996, which will give us a credibility with the underwriters. And then the tanker will allow us to move bulk water should we, in the unfortunate event, have a fire at Larome or out on Highway 11B, somewhere like that. We're bringing a lot of water with us. The particular tanker that I've earmarked here for approval has what we call porta tanks, which are like ponds. We put them down on the ground, dump the water into them, while a secondary pump will be pumping from them while we go get more water. So it'll be a relay system. It is something that we've discussed departmentally for many years about replacing. We don't have a tanker. And in the past, if we've had a fire that requires bulk water in a tanker form, we've had to call in Niobe Lake. So this alleviates that also. So it is a tanker pumper. There could be lots of questions about the difference between a regular pumper and a tanker pumper, but I'm open to questions.
Questions? Yes, Councilor Shine.
Thank you, Mayor Ferguson. So is this within the budget and what we put away for it?
Yeah, it is totally within the budget. I think the number came in at 636, if I can remember correctly on there. That would mean there would be actually a surplus to the budget. I'll be talking to both Brandy and Jason about some of the equipment has to go on it. No matter which truck we bought, we'd still have to put equipment on it. And then the excess or the surplus would go into reserves towards replacing the 2014, which has to be replaced accordingly. So that money then would alleviate asking for reserve money for 2026, because that money would go into the 2026 budget and then on with 27, 28, 20 until we have to replace the next truck.
And is this a Canadian-made product?
It's a Canadian company. There is no such thing as a Canadian-made fire truck. Unfortunately, for the way the world works, the chassis are all made in the United States, but this is a Canadian company.
Any other questions for Graham? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Councilor Knowles.
Thank you very much. Fire Chief Warburton, could you just kind of refresh me on what the complement of the fire trucks will be if this is approved to be purchased?
Certainly. We have 15-1, which is a 2014 1,250 gallons per minute pump. That is purchased, as I say, 2014. Then we have the 1996 Volvo, which is also a pump, which has a larger crew capacity, the same as 15-1. Then we have 15-3, which is our fire rescue. That has a compressed air foam system, which is currently in Winnipeg. It's broken. The truck is still here, but the pump is out. We have 15-4, which is my vehicle that I drive for enforcement or response. And we have 15-5, which is a 1982 GMC King vehicle, which still runs, still tests, still works great. And then we have the snow machine, which doesn't have a designation for vehicle. But that's the full complement of vehicles that are in the department.
Excellent. So everything still runs then, and this would just add to that complement?
Yeah, there would be some discussion about whether to move 15.2, which is the 96, into the position of 15.5, which is our 82. But the 82 is actually really good for bushfires because it doesn't really matter if we're trundling down a bush road with it. However, we don't have any space. We're kind of stuck with nowhere to park them. But we do need to replace 15.2 to keep our, and I have to be clear here, it doesn't, the insurance companies do not evaluate our ability to respond to fires. Underwriters Canada evaluates our ability to respond to fires. Underwriters Canada give us a rating, and then the insurance companies have access to that rating, and that's how the system works. So currently with 15.2, the Volvo, the 1996 vehicle, is beyond its rating. Therefore, it could affect our underwriter's rating, which then ultimately would affect our house insurance, commercial insurance, industrial insurance. That hasn't happened yet, but they are asking currently what has changed in the last 5 years for Atikokan, because they're aware of the age of our trucks. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes, Councillor Stimson.
Thank you, Mayor Ferguson. I remember quite a while ago, there was talk that they were going to expand your fire department over at the industrial mall and move one of the clients down farther down. That went by the wayside for some reason?
There were some changes made to the plan for moving to the immediately next store, but we do have the end stall for, currently we have a trailer and we put our 1982 vehicle in there in the winter. So we do have that extra area. It's not convenient, but
I was just thinking if you were moved into another stall, you'd have room for that other truck that you said.
That's correct.
And as far as I'm concerned, a well-stocked fire department deserves a place to be before something else. It just makes sense.
Thanks. I agree.
Any other questions or comments to Chief Warburton? Okay, hearing nothing. In fairness to Tyler, I'm going to give my spiel about we keep adding equipment and don't take anything out. So I'd just like to make us cognizant of that, where we keep building up inventory of vehicles and we don't, when we get a new one, we don't get rid of the old one. So we're not making that decision today, but I just like to keep that cognizant. Yes, Graham, I'll give you a chance to rebut.
Thank you. The difference, no, not the difference. I don't know much about Tyler's equipment. What I'm going to say is that a 1982 fire truck is, I would imagine the wheels are most valuable thing. They are not. And then we'd have to decommission the emergency lights and the decals. It almost becomes cost prohibitive to take it out of service unless it's scrapped. And that's an option, is to take it apart. But we can't be selling an emergency vehicle with emergency equipment on it. That includes the lights. A former employee of the town got pulled over for having lights in a former police car. They didn't work, but they have to be removed.
Okay. Yes, Councillor Stimson.
Yeah, I don't know, what you were saying when we tell Tyler that he's got to get rid of some stuff or whatever. I just don't see whether it's Public Works or whether it's a fire department. If we have something that's just a little out of date but can still be used or used as a backup, doesn't it just make sense to keep it? You know, you got a dump, say you got a dump truck that's, okay, it's getting old, and you buy a new one. Well, what happens if something happens to the new one, somebody goes off the road and you still got the other one as a backup? I know it's, you don't want to keep too much stuff and have, you know, the whole yard full of stuff, but, I think we should be keeping backup stuff.
Okay, we'll stay on the agenda, I think.
Okay, well, I think
That's
that we should be keeping the other truck.
Yeah, well, I don't think, as I said, we're not going to decide tonight if we're getting rid of that vehicle or not.
The one
was
who brought it up.
Just a question, that's all.
Yeah, you brought it up, though.
Okay, that is in the resolution for the next meeting, too. Thank you. And we'll go to the last order of business, other business, land acknowledgement. Is someone speaking to this?
Yes, I had asked for this to be put on because of the strategic plan and the word Indigenous used throughout the document as well. I've been asked for it to be on the agenda a few times and it's never gone through. Everybody has their own concepts of it. It's my personal belief, it's not, and being Indigenous, it's not just supposed to be used when we did the cutting ceremony for the new sign. This is something that we should be doing. We have a large Indigenous culture here in our community. We say we want to work with Seine River, we say we want to work with Lac La Croix, but yet we do nothing to do a land acknowledgement. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Yes, Councillor Stimpson.
Yes. I want to go back to when this council first came in. I wasn't here, or I would have been adamantly against it. We got rid of the silent prayer, and the reason I found out was we didn't really want to offend anybody. Now, well, I know they do it all over the place, but I'm just saying, if we're not wanting to offend, what about the person who's offended by? This is my land, not their land, you know, and there's that to look at, and I'll gladly go along with this land acknowledgement if you guys bring back the silent prayer and get rid of that moment of reflection. Other than that, I don't know if I can.
Yes, Councillor Lyons.
Thank you. I'd like to speak on this, if I may. This really isn't about personal opinion or personal beliefs. It is something that is recognized throughout all levels of government in Canada. Supreme Court has made decisions on various aspects of reconciliation, and you know, it is expected that even municipal councils do what they can to implement reconciliatory action. As Councillor Shine has stated, a land acknowledgement, while some may or may not believe or agree with it, it is something that it isn't personal opinion or anything as such. It is recognized and should be implemented within the meeting process.
Councillor Johnson.
I would go along with this if you included in that statement my traditional land too. I would go along with this if you included in it that this is my traditional land too, because I've got 4 generations born in Canada. I don't like to smirk. Thank you. This is my traditional land too. But you're...
Acknowledgement is for the Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit. These are the traditional landholders of this country. Just as when, I remember Councillor Stinson came to a meeting haven't decided to immigrate here.
Maybe, Councillor Shine, we should get some information on like the purpose of it, and so we can share that with council, and so we can make a little more of an informed decision on why we do it and what the purpose is. I think if we could do a little research and find the purpose of a land acknowledgement, and then we can share it with council, and then everybody will have an understanding on the reason there is a land acknowledgement, and then they can make the decision themselves on that after getting the information. Yes, Councillor Stimson?
Yeah, I know you're gonna say that it doesn't pertain to it, but would you consider bringing back the silent prayer too? Please, if you can. Thank you.
Councillor Shine?
Thank you. When I'm having my meeting that I'm setting up with both Seine River and Lac LaCroix for another board that I sit on, I will discuss it with them and get some insight from them. Because when we attended the last meeting in Toronto, I did attend a workshop presented by the Indigenous from there. And this was one of the things that they did mention that we should be doing. So when I reach out to them, I will get their point of view on it as well.
Sure, and if we could get that information.
Yep.
And
I have lots of information.
and share with council on why it is a good idea and the purpose of it, so we can have a discussion and understand where it's coming from. Jason?
Just a point of clarity as well for Councillor Stimson, when you talk about adding something. So this is the procedural bylaw, so it is a approval of all of council. So I think when the time comes that we are looking at modifying or amending the procedural bylaw, anything is on the table at that point to be discussed and added or removed.
Yes, Councillor Lyons.
Just a question for Councillor Shine. If when you're speaking with members of Lac LaCroix and Seine River, could you also maybe reach out to Lac de Mille Lacs as well?
Sure, if you send me their information, I will.
Certainly, thank you.
Okay, any more discussion on that? So I think we'll leave it with Councillor Shine to get some information, and we'll circulate it to council.
No problem.
And then we'll put it on the after everybody has a chance to review that and learn what it's all about, and then they can make their decision being more informed. Okay. Thank you, Councillor. Okay, that is the end of our agenda now, so we will take a 5-minute break and we'll move into the regular meeting. And we'll call this meeting adjourned at 5:11. We'll be back at 5:16.